Okay, let me warn you guys right now because this might hurt your feelings. But if you're a foreign guy dreaming about flying to the Philippines, finding a sweet Filipina, and living your happily ever after, if you don't know the game, you might be walking straight into a fantasy. But here I am, and I'm about to snap you out of it. Now, this isn't to discourage you because honestly, Filipinas are some of the best partners you'll ever meet. But if you don't understand how dating really works here, you're vulnerable. Vulnerable to scams, to lies, to heartaches, all which could have been avoided in the first place. So let's talk about this. First, it's not just love, it's location. Now, I want you to think of it this way. Let's say you're in a relationship with a Filipina and you think, oh man, she's the one. She's the woman I've been waiting for my whole life. So you're love struck, absolutely head over heels with her. Now, try moving that relationship to your home country and imagine what could happen. I'd like you to take a moment on this because we're literally talking about your future here. Your future and her future, and maybe your future's children's future. Anyways, you're the only person who can gauge this, so yeah, I cannot do it for you. The expats on this channel cannot do it for you. Only you can gauge this because you're the only one who knows your Filipina partner. So, my question to you now is, can you picture your relationship with her if you bring her to, let's say, to your own country? Can you picture her coping with the environment? Can you picture her being the same person that she was when you met her? Is she that type of woman who will be with you through thick and thin? Can you picture building a life with her? But more importantly, can you picture her being happy beside you in this new country, away from everything she's ever known? If you give me a solid yes to all of these questions, then that's a very good sign. But if there's a tiny part of you that's unsure, it might be because you don't know her fully well. So here's a reality check for all of you guys who are unsure. A lot of the long-distance relationship in the Philippines work because of where they start. So before you rush to take her home, slow down a bit, okay? Because I'm sure you've heard a lot of horror stories about Western men bringing their Filipinas into their home country and get immediately dumped after she gets her citizenship and all of your money. And let's not forget about the alimony because that's also a challenge in itself. And I don't want these things to happen to you guys, so please, love yourselves. Enjoy the moment with her, take the time to know her fully well, and don't sprint to the airport with her just because you think you hit the jackpot. Next, if you don't know the game, you are the game. Now here's a very classic question that a lot of Filipinas would ask you during a first meetup, whether it's online or in person. Yeah? She would normally ask, have you been here before? Now at first it may sound innocent, right? In fact, there is nothing weird or wrong about this question. But it may do you well if you understand that there will be times when it also means that she is scouting you, like investigating. Because if you are new, you are easy to read, you are easy to impress, easy to influence, and easy to manipulate even. I'm not saying that this phrase means that she is a scammer, okay? I'm just saying that if you meet the wrong Filipina, in the wrong time and in the wrong place, and you got yourself a devil in disguise who is out to suck all the dollars out of you, then you better watch out because knowledge is power. Kingdoms fall and even the greatest warriors of all time get defeated because of knowledge. Do you want to end up like them or not? So you better look out for yourself. Enjoy your life in this tropical country and just chill, okay? And last but not the least, the word separated is not what you think it is. Now, here in the Philippines, if someone says she is separated, it often still means she is legally married. And that can mean two things. Yeah, so there's two sides to this, okay? So hear me out. One side means she is single in a sense that there's no man in her life and she's probably also actively seeking a relationship. And on the other side, it means there is drama, complications, and risk. And why? Because there is no divorce law here in the Philippines, which I find rather ridiculous. There is, however, an annulment which makes the marriage null and void, but the majority of people here barely earn a decent amount of money to pay for that. Yeah, because there is attorney fees and doctor's fees and all the other fees needed to get that done. And I can tell you, the majority won't be able to pay for that. So what do they do? Yeah, what do the couples do? They just move on. They forget each other. And both parties adhere to that because there's no point in keeping your legal partner if you are not happy anymore. And at a later time, you'll find someone else in your life anyway. So they call it quits. Now, in contrary to what many vloggers will tell you about these things, yes, there are cases when the legal husband will go after you if you get on with his wife. But that hardly ever happens here, you guys. Yeah, I can attest to this myself. So yeah, don't believe everything you hear online. Anyways, I think the reason for this, the reason where they don't really have, they have nothing to do anymore about each other and they just go in their separate ways is because of the family ties here. Yeah. So what I mean by this is, let's say as an example, the legal husband beats her wife. Yeah, so she didn't file a case against him, but she decides to leave anyway and move on with her life. She doesn't make a fuss about it. I mean, she's hurt, obviously, but as a kind of like a pity or respect for her husband, she just moves on. Yeah, she doesn't file a case because she also don't want him to end up in the jail or in prison, especially if there are children involved. Like there are some women who are still very, like they still have mercy for their partners even if they are mistreated. But anyway, because of what the husband did to the wife, the family of the girl will also start hating on him. And the relatives will hate him as well. And some family members will even take revenge. Some, especially those who are uneducated. Yeah, they would even fight and maybe get a bolo or knives, because to like revenge for what the husband did to the, the relative. But anyways, so the husband feels shameful, yeah? He has no face to show anymore to the family, to the parents, to the siblings of the wife, and to the relatives, of course, and maybe even to the, the village or the barangay where they live. So yeah, he feels embarrassed to show himself anywhere near her because, rumors spreads fast here. So he moves on too and he leaves. So if any of them gets with someone else, at a later point in their lives, the other partner will highly likely have nothing to do anymore with it, with the other person because they both have moved on with their own lives anyway and are building new lives now with someone else. So yeah. So please don't believe everything you hear online, okay? In fact, you don't even have to believe. what I say, but I strongly urge you to come and witness this for yourself here in the Philippines, because I don't know why some vloggers do all this, like scaremongering, like try to scare the expats that have never been here before. And obviously there are cases where these things happen, but it's highly unlikely. Like really, it's highly unlikely. But anyways, once you come here and see it for yourself, you will understand what I mean. Yeah, you can even talk to some Filipinas or some people here who have experienced it. They're still married, but they are separated for a very long time already with their, legal partners. And you will understand, what I'm saying. Look, dating in the Philippines can be amazing, but only if you stop chasing the fantasy and, be a little bit more realistic. Because this is a third world country, you guys. As much as I don't like to use that word to describe my homeland, but please be smart, but also be respectful. And don't be such a paranoid, Don't be so hyper vigilant and immediately judge a Filipina because of everything I said here or what other vloggers say. Yeah, I'm just making you aware, okay? Now, it is up to you how to take in all of these things. But if anything, just take it all with a pinch of salt, okay? Life is too short and the world is wide, you guys. This is Daisy, and I wish you all the best of luck in whatever you endeavor here in the Philippines. Remember that you are all guests here, so do not get yourself into trouble, okay? Just kidding. But welcome to the Republic of the Philippines, the Pearl of the Orient. She's your home now as well. See you next time. Bye.